This is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today because we are joined by the one, the only Gina Shock.
Woohoo! I'm good. It's Christmas time. I'm feeling happy. I'm ready to hang out with my friends. I'm coming back east, which is where I'm from. And I mean, I love the West Coast. I love living here, but I am definitely an East Coast girl. And I look forward to coming back many times a year.
Come on back. I mean, I am in LA every January and or February, but I live in New York and I'm such an East Coast. I'm an East Coast girl too, Gina. So there we go.
Where are you from? Are you from
I'm
LA?
I grew up between New York and Connecticut, so I'm like East Coast
Oh,
all the
okay.
way.
Oh, well, you're an East Coast kid. Yeah, you are. You definitely
I
are.
I am East Coast. Well, listen, I wanted to start by saying congratulations, Made in Hollywood, the book. I know it came out last year, but you have been everywhere this year. We were just talking before you went on air. You have another book signing coming up. The other one sold out. You've been really busy with this book.
You know what, David, I feel like one of the luckiest people in the world. My life has been a dream. It was my dream as a child, and it all came true. It's like, and I am getting old now. I just turned 65, which is oops, which is crazy. Sorry to
You
cuss.
can swear. I have a horrible mouth, so you can swear on
Okay,
here.
so I mean, I can't believe that. Like, I mean, whatever that number is not who I am. That's all I know. Like, numbers are just bullshit. They don't mean anything because I don't think that way. I don't look that way. I don't feel. There's nothing about me, whatever that age is. But it's all changed. It's changed in the last 20 years. Let's face it, 30 years. But I have just been having the best life. The Go Go's have been so good to me. Everybody's busy doing different things in the band. I'm hoping we get back together at one point. I don't know, but I love that band. I'm super grateful to have been in the band, and we are still around. And I wrote a book, put a book out of all my photographs and my stories about being in the band. And I get to play drums, I get to write songs, I get to travel all over. I just got back from Egypt. It was fabulous. It's all good.
I
This
have
stuff, you guys, as you get older, it can get, well, I don't know if it gets better, but it doesn't get worse. I mean, it can be, it's all up to you. You got to stay positive and like keep yourself busy. Staying busy, David, is the key to everything.
I agree with like everything you just said. Now, before we went on the air, you asked me how old I was, and and I told you you're now one of like four people to know how old I am. But you too, yes, you do not look 65. You do not act 65. I'm not saying that's old. I'm just saying like, and I agree with you. I mean, I've been to Egypt, traveling, like staying busy is the absolute key. And I really do think it gets better the older you get. I do.
It certainly can if you have a good group of friends around you, people that love you, that kind of thing. I know it sounds kind of sappy and ridiculous, but it is true. All the things that our parents taught us, they come around and they are true. It winds up that way. And, I've been living all that dream my whole life. But it takes, you gotta stay focused. I mean, you can get a little off track. Drugs come into the picture at one point or another, in the business I'm in anyway. And you hopefully you get through that and you move on and you continue to have your life, what you're supposed to do. Um, and I just am happy about everything is all I can say. And Egypt was incredible. I had no idea. I was expecting something much different. When did you go?
I went before the pandemic. I don't know about you, but my memories all blend together, which we'll talk about in this book, looking back at your photographs. So I would say, if I had to take a guess, I would say I went somewhere between like 2016 and 2019. I truly don't remember other than that.
How
I
long did you
went
go for?
like probably a week, 11 days at the most. I'm a very quick traveler. Like whatever the minimum is to really that they suggest, I go with that and maybe even shave a day off. Probably like 7 days.
The
Yeah.
jet lag is merciless. I mean, it's tough. I'm just getting back to sleeping through the night.
The main thing is like for people that haven't been is like they think the pyramids are 5 hours away. They're literally like right outside town. Like here's your hotel and here's like
Where's
a
the pyramids, right? Did
yeah.
you stay at the Marriott Mena?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you go outside and there's the pyramids
They're
right
right
there.
there.
It's like
Yes.
crazy. Anyway,
What was the process like of writing this book? You know, like, look, we live in this Instagram age. Like, I take so many pictures, I post them. I never look back at my pictures. Like, you know, sitting there and going through like a 40+ year career with the Go-Go's, and what was this process like?
this was a pain in the ass, but it needed to be done. It was time. I've had, I've been taking photographs. I always love photography. In my house, most of my art is photography, pieces that I actually put money, spend money on. And so I've loved it since I was a kid with my little Instamatic, which you see in the book, driving across country, taking photos, with my Instamatic. But putting this all together, I never thought I could do it. I put it off for decades, actually. The band was encouraging me to do it, because when we go out on tour, a lot of times I'd bring a bag full of photos, and we'd go through them and get hysterical, laughing at all the crap we did, and how insane we were, and thanking God that the internet wasn't around, and iPhones, or we'd have been in jail a lot. Anyway, so I found the right person to help me get it together, a fellow named Steve Berger, and he and I sat down over the first year of the pandemic, and we spent like over a year, about a year and a half, putting it all together. Going through photographs, speaking on the phone every day, and writing the story. Because initially, when Steve came up to look at the photos I had, and then he was like, "Oh my God, Gina, we're going to get a deal. This is not going to be a problem." And we did get a deal quite easily. But I just wanted to have like a Go-Go's coffee table photo book, because that was and still is my primary interest. I'm getting to do some photo exhibitions, which is really cool. But the publisher came to me and said, "What do you think about writing?" And Steve was encouraging me to write, but my whole thing was like, I'm not a writer. I can write songs, but I don't know, I can write 2 or 3 minute little stories here and there, but really, truthfully, I don't think I can do a book. Well, it is sort of that old saying, a photo tells a million, what is it, a million stories or whatever,
Yeah.
a million words or whatever that bullshit thing is. But when I started looking at those photos, it just poured out. It just poured out. It wasn't hard to find the words. It just came very easily. I can't get over that I actually am an author now too. I couldn't believe I wrote that, and so I'm super proud of it, because it was something I didn't think I could do. But you know what, David? If you know how it's always been my life. In my life is like, if I'm presented with a